Mike's on, here we go. It's 28 to 5. It is the catch up with Daryl and Sarah from Metricon Love Where You Live. And Sarah, we've got a special guest in the studio. Andy here joins us. Welcome to the catch up, Andy.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Now, Andy's here to talk to us about something called physical literacy, which sounds, well, we didn't know exactly what it was.
No, we didn't know exactly what it was.
Once we get into it, it is very exciting. Andy, tell us, what is physical literacy?
So physical literacy, very simply defined in 3 words: confidence, competence, and motivation to move.
Right.
It's a really exciting way to be able to think and move around physical education.
Okay, so it's to do with physical education, but is it like, because I was like, physical literacy, is that like merging phys ed with reading, or what is that?
And it's funny you should say that, because that's what people think straight away, because literacy being literacy.
Yeah.
So, but it's movement literacy, so knowing how to use our skills in certain ways. And a really great example of that is for instance sake, at the moment we're doing bounce at school with all our young ones, and if we really work hard and work on their bouncing skills, they have an opportunity to be a part of something else. It might be the grade 6 basketball team, or it might actually go further and become a community idea.
So rather than it just being like, or some kids are good at it and some kids aren't, we sort of do a little bit of skill stuff, but then we get into playing it, and the ones that aren't kind of left behind or go and do something else. You're really working on building those base level skills and the confidence in them so that they can
100%. And this is our thing. Like I think Geelong is a great example, and we've got so many wonderful kids out there. And at the moment, my big theme is being your own superhero and trying to discover your own superpower. Now, if a child has a desire to be a great basketballer, as an educator, our role is to actually make them a great basketballer. And that level of where they get to will be determined by their level of confidence, competence, and motivation.
I get it.
So
cool.
I suppose when you look at it, you look at AFL teams and things like that, they have kicking coaches, they have ruck coaches. These guys have got there because they have a lot of natural ability and skill, but they still work on the technique, and that's a lot of what you do, the technique.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's the fine motor skills, the fundamental motor skills that are essential in that. And we look at how the game evolves and how I guess our AFL players now kicking around the corner. So that became a physical literacy component where one person's gone, this is the way I'm going to kick the ball, and the other top forwards have gone, ooh, I've got to work that out.
Yeah,
how do I do that?
Okay.
Let's break it backwards and go from start and up. So
So realistically, anybody with a couple of arms and a couple of legs should be able to kick a ball, and they should be able to kick it a long way or throw it a long way, or throw it a reasonable distance. But if you haven't got your technique right, that's where it falls apart.
That's right, and it's a cyclic motion that we always have got to come back to something, to a starting point that we're base level. And I look at myself as a child, and I learned how to ride a bike. And as soon as I learned how to ride a bike, I was a bit freer in the neighbourhood, so it gave me something that belonged to the pack. But then as an adult, I took it into triathlons and was able to race and really enjoyed that as a great motivator.
Well, there's a great analogy riding a bike, isn't it? Because when you first start off riding a bike, you think, oh, I'm never going to get there. You've got the training wheels on and you go, this is ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
But once you get the hang of it, once you get your balance right, there's no stopping you, and you're just out on the bike all day riding around, and that sort of thing. It gives you that freedom. But when you master it, and when you think back, it really didn't take that long. But at the time, it seemed.
Correct. And we've got to look at things as well as not just teachers and home. We've got to look at a really combined community here. And our teachers obviously present an educative process of it, but it actually starts back at home.
So what can people be doing at home to help with physical literacy?
Yeah, you know what, it's breaking those skills down and looking, I mean, we hear all the time, let's get the kids outside, let's get them moving, let's get them off the devices, but actually that can be a big part of it, because a lot of these devices will actually, in games, will actually show the kids how to throw, how to strike a ball. Wii Sports is a great example, going to tennis. So we can't discount that, but we can encourage the kids to take those skills and connect to something. Community events is a big one, and joining teams is a huge one.
So getting your kids involved in sporting teams, encouraging them that way.
Yeah, and looking at education as a real focus of collaboration between parents, community coaches, and schools, and not one of us own the ownership of the child, because the child has the desire and the powers to be able to do and craft whatever they want to craft.
This is taking you to amazing places, isn't it? If you've been overseas,
Yeah, so I just came back from California
Yeah,
with a couple of lectures over at Cal Poly State University, and it was amazing to be able to connect with like-minded educators from around the world, and it sort of sets you up for that greater depth. So I take everything that I learn and place it back into education with the kids.
yeah, great.
And you've said you've come back and you're now looking at doing some instruction in dance.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, check
you
it
did
out.
say
Now,
that.
Yeah.
clearly there's some issues I've got there.
Yeah.
Sarah, on the other hand, is much better at that, but that whole coordination thing, but technically it means I can learn to dance.
Yeah, absolutely. You certainly can. Look, I've got 2 left feet, and I met this amazing dance instructor from a company called Dance Play in Vancouver. Her name was Mel Levenberg, and she taught me how to use physical literacy and those skills in dance to be able to tell a story and create a narrative. I got so hooked on it, I've come back and I've gone, that's what's missing in my teaching. Let's become a dance instructor.
That's so great that you're doing that.
Yeah.
That you're still, you're upskilling all the
Always
time
learning.
and looking, a bit outside the box. That will mean that you'll be able to reach more students and
Oh,
students
100%.
like me that kind of switch off when it's throwing a ball. But as soon as you talk dance and a narrative and
You got very
I'm like,
excited.
hello.
Yeah, spot on.
You've got me.
We are a bit out of time today. Can we get you to come back and,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
100%,
do some
yeah.
stuff with us? We won't make you come back tomorrow, but we'll get you to come back in a couple of
And
weeks.
is it somewhere people can go to have a look to like?
Yeah, if they jump on, I've just got a simple website at the moment. It's just mrhairphysed.weebly.com,
Okay.
and you'll be able to explore the videos and see everything. But I'll come back. I'll definitely come back, and we'll play a game with you guys, but also play a game with our listeners at the same
A
time.
game.
They'll be
I
able
love
to,
that.
they'll be able to learn it and get into it, and a little bit of action coming from it.
Beautiful. Andy here, physical literacy. That's what they call it, and now we know what it all means, and so do you. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, team. Thanks, John.
It is the catch up here at Bay 93.